stumbled up on. I was watching some TED Talks. I like to, watch all kinds of crazy things that people talk about on TEDx. And this one's called brain chips.
Yeah, a brain chip.
Yeah, so an actual chip that goes in your brain.
Right.
What do you know about the brain chips and what's kind of going?
Yeah, the first thing that I think me and other people probably think about is it's kind of scary. Mm-hmm. Like, it's scary to think that we are already at a point that we're sticking computers in our brains.
Pretty much. Yeah.
and it's kind of scary to know, well, is that going to go good or is that going to go bad? Yeah. So right off the bat, it's like the casino thing.
It's going to have its pros and cons.
Very, very pro and con of what brain chips can do. But regardless of if it's a good or a bad thing, there's definitely some very neat things that are being done and can be done
crazy
with brain chips.
Things that we'll kind of touch up on.
Yeah.
And it seems very sci-fi, like, oh yeah, that might be done in 50, 100 years from now, but it's actually being done right now and tested.
Yeah. So brain chips are in production, and they do currently have brain chips. And what are some things? I know you know some examples.
Yeah, so they're not being used right now publicly. They're
not on people.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're doing the testing on monkeys and rats and stuff. So one of the things that they talked about is that there's actually monkeys in laboratories that are able to drive around on wheelchairs without touching anything because they have the brain chip in their brain that's connected to their electronic wheelchair.
Right.
And the monkey just thinks of where it wants to go and it gets to drive around without touching anything.
Yeah, so just thinking about that, you have a room full of monkeys. Like, this is for real right now. Like, you got a room of monkeys driving around in wheelchairs from their thoughts.
Yeah. From that thought.
Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of crazy, like that, that's actually happening. So, so that concept is interesting, but it gets that's controlling the physical world. Right. But then the brain chips are going to be connected to the internet.
Yeah. So another one that they did was with a rat. Yeah. I don't remember exactly what it was. Maybe they put in some sort of
they could put it in a very complex, I guess you could say, maze, that it was really hard to get food. And it was a process that took like 2 weeks for that rat to learn.
Right. And then what they did was they had another rat across the country, I want to say.
Right.
They had the brain chip. They put that rat in the same situation. And the rat on the other side of the country was able to do it instantly because they connected their brains through the internet, and that knowledge transferred over to the other.
Right. So it took one rat 2 weeks to figure it out, uploaded his thoughts and memories to the internet, and the other rat across the country knew it instantly.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
That is.
Yeah. Insane. So if you start thinking about that goes into the concepts of the non-tangible type use of the brain chips is, then if I have a brain chip here and I want to know a certain piece of knowledge, then all I have to do is think about what I want to know, and then it's going to instantly be in my mind, and I'm going to know it.
Right. So going to Google, doing a physical search, that's going to be, long going.
Right.
You think it, you gather the information, you download it, and you have it right there instantly.
Right. So they think that is going to be, I guess you could say, commoditized or democratized in a way like cell phones are today. So you'll have essentially this platform, whoever gets to this platform first, of making a marketplace of memories and of knowledge, so that the knowledge exists.
I think Google's going to.
Google's going to probably go there, because they're all into crazy technologies. But so you're going to be able to say, okay, well, I want to know the basics. Is just the memory, the thoughts and the knowledge of it. Of, let's say, just martial arts. I want to know, X type of martial art. Well, you could then download the program into your mind, and you instantly know everything about it. You know all the moves, you know how to do it. Now, physically being able to do all the moves, that's another story.
Right.
But then you think about books. Well, I want to know the knowledge of whatever was in that book. Instead of reading the book, you just download the actual knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. So this is
so that's gonna essentially make superhumans. Because
yes.
we're gonna be like
superhumans. We're gonna be cyborg. We're gonna
millions of times smarter. But kind of going back to like what they're doing right now. So what they're initially gonna want to use this for is for the medical conditions. You know, people
Correct.
who
they're gonna jump from monkeys straight to
using it for good use in people who are paralyzed.
Right.
You know, so that if you're paralyzed from the waist down, having the chip up here and then maybe a chip below the injury is going to be able to connect so that you can move your legs or if you can't move your arm, it's going to be able to connect those parts that don't work.
Right.
And then Alzheimer's, not having
memories,
you losing memory, but if you have the brain chip, being able to hold that memory or downloading memories that you may have forgot or so that's kind of where they're wanting to go.
Right, that's where it's going to start.
That's where it's going to start, but it's going to go crazy. Right?
Yeah, so and I mean it is deserving. So the first population who's going to become these superhumans are going to be the people with disabilities. So that's kind of neat that that's where this technology is going to first benefit. So, and I mean, the thought, like you said, about someone who is paralyzed to be able to, their brain then speak to the spinal cord below the injury. I mean, that's amazing that person is going to be able to, experience to be able to walk or do whatever it is again. So, great use of the technology. Then it gets very weird once you start thinking, okay, so let's say time-wise with these people, this is going to be happening. First of all, like we said, there's monkeys driving around right now with their thoughts. So these platforms are going to start to become available in the next 15 to 20 years.
Right. Yeah.
That's
right around the corner.
That's right around the corner.
Yeah.
And then technology progresses really, really quick, so it might shave that off. So, okay, so what happens in 15 years from now, or let's just even say the 20 years from now, that we shift into this world where our brain is the internet? What happens?
Yeah. Then everybody, who has these brain chips are going to be, 1 million times smarter. Then what are people are going to be coming up with?
I actually read a statistic. It's something like humans will become, I think it's 1 billion times smarter than what we are now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, because you instantly have connections to any other people's thoughts to be able to do that. So then it becomes, okay, well, is that when the real big divide is going to happen between rich and poor? And I mean, this huge divide could happen. And then you have the whole thought of brain hacking. If everybody has these chips and you could hack the chips.
Right. People hacking to computers all the time. Take over, you destroy people's lives by hacking into someone's accounts and so if someone's able to hack into your brain, they can literally control you. They can delete memories from you. They can put other people's memories, and you just become this person
to them. You don't even know yourself, basically. Right. So
that's where
just the thought of that, of someone, let me actively participate, and you're just one of the random unlucky few, or it could mass happen, but you get all your thoughts deleted and then re-uploaded. People think they know who you are, but you're, and that could get super complex, super weird.
Right.
But then the cool thought about it is, you could, the weird and neat thing about it is the brain chips could almost allow for the development and the thought of the experience of heaven, heaven on earth, essentially. So. And the reason that is, and what I think is absolutely fascinating is, so being that we live in the physical world, but the internet and our thoughts could then live in the internet, so someone could create a game that is a universe that essentially just mocks our current, and that you can do anything in it.
Right.
But then you could add any kind of sensory inputs into it. So we have sight, we have smell, we have vision, we have touch, we have all this. But humans don't have a bunch of sensors that could potentially exist. So
Right.
there's hundreds of different sensors, from simple as like carbon monoxide, but then X-ray vision, infrared, all these different sensors could then come into your thoughts, essentially. So you instantly have hundreds of sensations and sensors that us as humans don't have.
Yeah.
Then think about this blows my mind, of you could be inside this world and everything slowed down by any fraction of a second. So that a second in the real world could be 10 years in this made up world. So then you could extend your perception or your reality of lifespan to
that's almost like a dream.
unlimited.
You know, when you dream, it feels like it's a long time, but it's actually
it's
only
actually seconds.
a split second.
So it is going to be this. It could be the same exact thing, and
It's
you
going
can
to be the
program it to
Matrix.
be. Yeah. So
Watch the movie The Matrix. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.